Lanny will answer that. So I spoke to Shannon's lawyer, Lanny, this morning, several hours ago from my home. Here's how it went. My question is, why would Shannon Sharpe offer $10 million to someone who is allegedly shaking him down?
Thank you for that question. It's amazing how many people have asked me that question, so you have good company.
Okay, but it's the obvious one. It's the one that jumps
Yes.
out at you.
Yeah,
If someone
yes.
accuses me of something horrible, I'm not offering them a dime.
So what's the definition of blackmail? Why do people who are talking about blackmail pay money? It's because what is about to be revealed was a private act that could embarrass them and their family and hurt their reputation and their business. So blackmail, by definition, is paying money when you're innocent. If anyone wants to look at the definition of blackmail, interview 1,000 people who've been in blackmail situations who pay the money when they're totally innocent. So the answer to your question is that totally innocent people who are under a threat of blackmail, which is defined as revealing something privately that will embarrass or harm them, are willing to pay money even though they're 100% innocent. You can find 1,000 people easily who have been in the same position as Shannon Sharpe and makes the unfortunate and difficult choice of paying money when he's innocent in order to protect his family, his business, and his reputation.
Yeah, I mean, Shannon was about to sign a big contract, like $100 million deal. I'm wondering, and then this thing arrives days before these accusations. Is that deal in jeopardy or is it going through?
We hope it isn't in jeopardy, but let me repeat one more time. It is amazing to me, no criticism intended of the question, that anybody assumes that someone who pays blackmail is guilty of anything. And so all I ask your viewers again is ask yourself, if you're the victim, if a private act and an edited tape even added to the private act that is suddenly threatened by somebody, in this case, a woman, I'm going to go public unless you pay me a lot of money, and you want to protect your family, your business, or anything else about your reputation. Does that imply any guilt? Never
It's called
is a
shame.
blackmailed
It's called
person.
shame, and it's powerful. And we'll do. We human
Thank you.
beings will do a lot to cover it
So,
up or to keep it hidden from people. We all have shame. I think your answer is more
well,
than adequate. I think it's
not,
the I
not,
think it's the
not,
only answer, Lanny.
I have to thank you. Thank you. I do want to add or slightly modify what you just said. He feels no shame. He did nothing wrong. This was
None.
consensual. This was long-standing consensual behavior. When he moved to Las Vegas, she followed him there. When she invited him to her apartment, he had to go through several access points, and she was there to let him in. When they engaged in the sexual activity that she explicitly and many, many times asked him on the various text messages that are now the evidence we put into the public marketplace,
Yeah.
and he performed exactly consensually what she had asked him to do, she secretly taped him. And then she edited the tape, and we've called upon her lawyer, Mr. Busby, who's denying editing. Okay, then show the tape to an expert because you have nothing to hide. And guess what he has said? No. And he won't answer the media's question. Well, why not? Are you hiding the editing? So the answer is Mr. Sharpe completely acted consensually, consistent with multiple text messages that are now distributed in the public marketplace, and he's 100% innocent of the charge of rape. That is an outstandingly lying, intentionally willful lie that extorted him to pay money to avoid a public charge of rape. Now
Is
he's got to prove himself in court.
is there any is there anything or something that Shannon, can own in this ordeal? I mean, in September, he had there was a live stream of a sexual encounter that went out. Different person, not this woman, but does he maybe need to take inventory of his operations at this moment?
Thanks for that question. I really appreciate it because I have a reputation in this type of media crisis of advising my clients to step up and tell it early, tell it all, tell it yourself, the
Yeah.
mantra of a book that I wrote about my White House experience. The answer is yes. He has taken responsibility for the mistake he made about the live stream. He's taken responsibility about this relationship getting to the point where he should have seen the warning signs by her text messages.
She's very young. She was 20 when he met her. I mean, he's 56-year-old man. Like,
Excuse me, 20 is an adult. I don't buy
sure,
that.
of course, but
I just simply disagree with the assumption that there's any age issue here. So 56, 20, 56, 40, that is not an issue in my opinion. But I do, and we have had him say on camera, and he has written that he takes responsibility for the mistakes made in this relationship. It has nothing to do with the word rape, which is a vicious, willful lie, a setup with a secret tape edited, and then pure blackmail to try to buy protection for his family and himself. That's the truth. And if you saw him on Instagram Live when he posted yesterday, that's a man, if you watch it many times, that's a man telling the truth, but he's very regretful.
look, I call it like I see it. Listen, the voice, her voice on the tape to me definitely sounds like a woman who knows that she pressed record moments ago. I can tell you that.
Could I interrupt you on that? What we're now getting are these telephone recordings from Mr. Busby. This is after he broke off negotiations for this to be put behind Mr. Sharpe without telling anybody, including the retired judge who was mediating and trying the blackmail discussions. We were ready to, they approached us and we were ready to pay the money. And without warning, he filed a lawsuit and went public. And then all of a sudden he's protesting, well, why are they mentioning her name? Well, excuse me. She's accusing my client of rape. I'm going to mention her name.
Yeah.
And her name is Gabriella Zuniga. And Gabriella is Gabby, Carly, and a lot of other aliases on OnlyFans, where she charges men to act out and to role play exactly what she asked my client, Mr. Sharpe, to do in explicit text messages, including put a collar around me, and I won't say on the air the other words that she used to ask him to do to her. So the truth is on our side, and the truth will prevail, as difficult this is for Mr. Sharpe.
Let me ask you about Tony Busby, opposing counsel. In the pantheon of celebrity lawyers, I would say his stock is down. Jay-Z suing him for defamation right now. Shannon says, he has a litigious thirst for black men. Is this guy the male Gloria Allred?
So I have made it a practice when I've been in politics, where this is done all the time, never to challenge motives, but to stick to indisputable facts. I'll let people judge by the pattern of his behavior, whether he has a pattern of doing this. Here are my facts. Fact one, he's lying that this was anything other than consensual. He knows that. Fact two, he was engaged in a private negotiation for Mr. Sharpe to pay the blackmail money. The number was very high. We had a retired judge as a mediator. We were very close, just about to finish, when, without warning, without picking up a telephone and professional courtesy to a fellow lawyer, he went public, filed a lawsuit. So those are facts. I'll let people draw conclusions about the behavior of another lawyer. I would just say to you, I would never act that way. That's my choice.
I'll let Tony Busby decide.
Milk doesn't have to make you feel bloated and uncomfortable. That's why there's Parmalat Easy Gest. It's easy to digest because it's lactose-free, so there's no discomfort.
He broke the mediation. $10 million was offered. Now the woman, the accuser, Gabby, wants $50 million. Is there a chance that mediation can happen again, or is that ship sailed?
That ship has sailed. Mr. Busby cannot be trusted, and that's nothing other than stating a fact. He was supposed to get back to us, and the retired judge, who was the mediator, was just as surprised by his decision without a heads-up professional courtesy. Hey, the deal is off. We're not going to go forward. We're going public. Just want to give you a heads up, even if it's 1 minute, so he doesn't think that Lanny Davis is going to jump in front of him. No heads up. No professional courtesy. Even the mediator was surprised. I'm going to let people judge for themselves whether Mr. Busby is right or wrong, ethical or unethical. I'm not using those kinds of words. But the facts about his past record with others and the facts of what he did with us simply speak for themselves. I'm not going to characterize them.
Speaking right now with Lanny Davis, a bit of a legend, represented President Bill Clinton during the Monica Lewinsky situation. You represented Martha Stewart. I do have a couple questions about a few people, but I don't know if you can do that. But I do want to know, Lanny, I'm sure you speak to Shannon all the time. I saw him recently, about a month ago, on an airplane. We were on the same flight. Can't remember where we were going, but it was definitely him. Didn't know that all this was on his shoulders at the time. How's he doing? What's his state of mind?
First of all, thanks for asking. There is a human pain issue here, and you've just done a nice job of allowing me to explain. I spoke to him yesterday before he did his Instagram comment, without notes, speaking from the heart. The only advice I gave him is tell the truth.